the genius is him and Jeremy.
Top Gear, Clarkson's Farm.
I'm a boomer. 63. Top Gear Jeremy. Change the stig now and again.
The Madagascar special, everyone knows it didn't really work.
Ooh. Why don't we do a mid-air Formula One tyre change?
Very new. 20 million.
We were talking about shit ideas.
It's a heavy series, so it is dramatic. I can't talk about the ending of Series 5. I ain't saying nothing. We're never going to do it.
Well, that's a first.
Yeah, that is a first.
That is a first.
That's Amazon.
Never fear a storm.
Be ready to adapt.
The skill is staying true to ourselves.
But that means that editor's work is now 4 weeks instead of 12 or whatever.
And they're also not knowing what hasn't made it to this point.
100%.
The magic.
It's going right. Trope,
You know
trope,
the magic.
trope.
Yeah,
I'll have
yeah.
that, you know.
All right, well,
Ugh.
there's the future.
Ugh.
Welcome back. How are you feeling?
Ugh. Because we just talked about AI before you said welcome back. Ugh. I'm good, thank you.
You're not a
Thank
fan
you.
of AI?
No, I'm a boomer. 63. All the old stories. Oh, can you help me with this printer, etc., etc. That's me.
Do you know how many people enjoyed the last episode that we recorded together?
No, because I steer clear.
Total numbers, 20 million. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So we put out the main full
Jesus.
sort of unedited long conversation with you. That's already done 1.5 million. And then we put out snippets and like little clips of the best bits
the
that we
bits.
spoke about. That did about another 5 or 6 million.
Wow.
Social clips did another bunch of million.
Bloody hell.
I know.
Bad for the boomer.
And now I've got to go, so that's a good number.
Yeah. So now what do we do?
We're all right? Yeah.
So well, the reason why we've invited you back, and we've never done this with any other guest before, is when you get tens of millions of views of the first conversation, but more importantly, tens of thousands of questions
Right.
that people want answered. Well, there's only one way to please our audience, and that's to put you back in the chair.
Just get me back in. Or get AI.
Or get AI to watch the episode and work out what the answers
Avatar
might
of
be.
it.
So this is our first ever
Coffee just missing
community-based
my face.
episode of High Performance. So should we get straight into it? You needed your coffee today, right?
Yeah,
Everything-
we've got the farm coming out, and I'm a bit whacked, so the coffee is much needed.
Look, we're going to talk about Clarkson's Farm. We want to talk
Okay.
about Top Gear, Grand Tour. We actually put out a photo on socials today, said, you're coming in, send us some questions. We're going to just run through those first of all. These are questions that came in the last hour for people. The first one comes from James McDonald, who got in touch on Facebook and said, what's the best idea for any of your shows, whether it is Clarkson's Farm, Top Gear or the Grand Tour, that never made it to air, that you really wish people had the chance to see?
Thanks, James, at this hour of the morning for the old, what's the that never did? Yeah. There wasn't an idea I don't think we couldn't do. We had crap ideas. Like, remember those Carlsberg adverts? Carlsberg don't do.
Yeah.
And we were like, right, what? Top Gear doesn't do petrol stations. What if we did one? So we spent a good morning with people like Richard Porter and so on going, right, we'll take over a petrol station and we'll make it the Top Gear petrol station. So it was going to be like anybody who bought diesel, there'd be just a huge tannoy going with like Jeremy at the till going, Tightwad, like across the forecourt and so on. And then anybody, people get in their car after they've paid and then don't move off.
Yeah, I hate
What
those
are they
people.
doing? Like, what are they doing? But so there was going to be like a massive like pile driver thing that shoves their car. And then inside there'd be, because they become supermarkets as well, like people go, just do my shopping and leave my car at pump 4, It was going to sell like Werther's Originals and that was it. And then a till, for petrol. And then after a while we thought, no, this is just becoming an aircraft carrier for jokes. So this is shit. Because it's like, this is the worst thing you can do, is like not have a point to what you're doing. So James, that never happened, but that was a good thing. We always tried to go to Iran. Oh,
Go on.
I have got one.
Go for it.
Because it costs too much. We were going to do, Iron Man 3, you know when the plane is crashing and Iron Man joins everybody up to save their lives? We thought, why don't we do an mid-air Formula One tyre change? So you have a big transporter, one of them C-130s, ramp comes down. If anybody's got the money, do it. Car comes out, and then all the tyre changing mechanics come out.
So the car comes out on a parachute?
Car comes out, but the parachute, no, this was the bit we were planning, was it's got like 45 seconds or 60 seconds before the parachute opens. And it's like, you've got to change the tyres before the parachute opens. So we had to find a way of stabilising it with really tiny parachutes, but it's still falling. Right. And then you'd have those skydiver people and you'd train them and they come out with the wheels. And you do a mid-air F1 car tyre change before the parachute opens. And we thought that would be the coolest thing in the world. And then we did up the numbers and it was just like, never going to happen. It was never.
What sort of numbers are we talking?
It was about $5 million. And we thought,
oh, wow.
Right, for a minute or whatever, 2 minutes, like how much can you milk this, you know? So it didn't happen.
Would that great telly.
Would have been
it would have been great telly, yeah. Somebody could do it.
Like, how do you decide if an idea is crap? So, like, that's obviously cost, but how did you sort of go around editing yourselves?
Jeremy was like main man on this, which was things have to have a point. So what do I mean by that? A good example, the ambulances film, when we built ambulances. And now, so start of the programme, they go, NHS ambulances are too slow, too expensive. They're X £100,000 each. We can do it much cheaper and they'll be like, better, sort of thing. So you've got this hubris, which has got the comedy of we can do better, you know. But you have a point. They cost the NHS a fortune. So Jeremy, James and Richard each take a donor car and make their version of what an ambulance should be. So you know it's going to be like sort of fuck about Cartoon Central after a short while because of all the things that are going to go wrong. But all the time you're bedded in with this point that we're trying to improve an ambulance.
And why does that matter for the story?
Because if you just do, you're back to the petrol station thing. If you just do, right, we'll put a car with loads of gizmos and gadgets. You're very quickly you're building a clown car, and you're just going, please laugh at this, please find this funny, sort of thing. So you just don't do it. Whereas the thread, like, can you buy a Porsche for 1,500 quid? The thread is there. Yeah. People probably never going to do it.
Oh, well, that's a first.
Oh.
Yeah,
that is a first in this building. I love the fact your cameras are still rolling.
Yeah, I've got battery power,
Yeah.
Okay.
So just as we got going on this record, the whole building lost power. So what did we do?
It's a disaster, William.
What are we saying, Benny?
Always there. If we can just get
Producer Will.
Noel's phone for
So we're actually filming an episode of High Performance on voice memos on an iPhone.
Oh yeah.
That's happening. I actually think it's cool.
Yeah.
Well, we grabbed our iPhones, we rigged up some makeshift lighting, and we kept going.
Andy Wilman by candlelight.
This was how they made television in the Georgian era. It is! Can anyone remember what we were talking about?
Where were we?
We were talking about shit ideas.
No, we've done that. Shit idea booking.
Here's a shit idea. Let's have a power cut in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's go to
Shit idea. Rent this office.
Let's go to a question from Wilson. It's a shit idea. Don't pay the electricity bill. If this happened when you were filming Top Gear, like, would you see it as a disaster, or would you go, that'll be great telly?
No, it's great telly, that is, because if the show, some of our best moments are predicated on happy accidents.
Yeah.
You know, the Stig, the specials, all the sort of things, finding things out, shit cars that break down, give you gold, you know, whereas the old Top Gear, if the car broke down, like Pebble Mill Top Gear days, you'd ring the officer, go, shoots off because the car's broken. And then we realised that, we've got more gold now because this car isn't going anywhere. So to your point there, this going down would be like joyous.
let's go back to some questions.
Okay.
There's so many that have come about Clarkson's Farm. New series.
Oh, yeah.
It's just started. This is a lovely question, actually. Not only was this a nice question, over 500 people liked the question. So I think a lot of people want to know the answer to this. This is from Eriseed on YouTube. Clarkson's Farm has become the actual voice of farmers in the UK and around the world. It shone a light on things we completely took for granted. Did you ever think a show about a man failing to grow things would matter this much politically, culturally, and to real farmers?
No, it's a very good question, and it's a very, very straightforward answer in that front. We absolutely did not, because, again, back to the thing of all our best moments with Top Gear were kind of organic, happy accidents or just organically developing. Ditto the farm. The whole premise was it was a sort of whimsical thing, you know. He tries to make a go of his farm, and all the focus was on Jeremy making a go of his farm. There was no plan or logic or perception that farmers would, like, some farmers would see us as beacons, or, you know, would go, oh, you actually are highlighting things. The things that bothered us more at the beginning were, you guys know this, when you've got these series where there's actuality, reality, and there's got to be a bit of pressure or jeopardy.
Yeah.
The classic version of somebody doing a farm would be, I've sold everything I've got, I've mortgaged everything, blah, blah, blah. I've put all my life savings into this and I've got to make it work. And therein lies your jeopardy to take you through the series. Now, everyone knows Jeremy's got a bob or two. So if the farm were not to make money or work, he's not out on his arse. That's not going to happen. And that was our concern.
That storyline's gone.
Yeah, that's gone. So we were like, that's what our focus was, is how to deal with that. And actually, you know, because he's open, and when we get to that end of that first year and they've made 144 quid, and he can very quickly say, imagine a real farmer who hasn't got Amazon checks coming in or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire checks coming in. And I think that authenticity he's got, farmers go, thank you, Jeremy. You know, you've said where you are and you've said where we are, and you've said it proper because you know it and you mean it. Yeah. And then that, the farmer love for us and the farmer appreciation, then just, we didn't know it was happening until the end of the series. But he's a good communicator. He's a good communicator. I think you could have other shows that highlight a farming issue straight down the barrel at you. Countryfile do it very well. And probably with more kind of direct punch. Like, sheep shearers aren't being allowed into the country. What the fuck are DEFRA and the Home Office doing, etc., when we need sheep shearing?
Yep.
But he kind of resonates because of his communication skills. And actually, there is something about the fact it is his farm, it is his land. You are seeing his disappointment, and that's universal. So no, we never saw it. Never saw it.
So this is a lovely question, actually, from J Hero, saying, Top Gear Jeremy, Farm Jeremy, same man or different?
Same skills, as we've discussed. Different. Yes, he is. You see a calmer man. I see the rushes, and I see a calmer man. You know, when the camera goes on, obviously he goes up a notch to perform and talk. But you see a calmer man. He's actually the love of the farm. He's constantly talking about with that film crew. He's absolutely in the sweetest spot. So he is as a different Jeremy, short answer. And the farm has kind of brought it out more. It's enhanced it, because I think Top Gear Jeremy, mental, then nothing. Grand Tour, then nothing. I think you'd get an agitated Jeremy.
Right.
Because he's programmed to work. He's programmed to do. And the farm is the best, you know, green run, ski slope descent into calmness that you could ever have. Because it's still work. It still, like, requires a lot of effort and brain power. But all he's got to do is step out of his front door and he's at work. Yeah. We don't have to get on a plane and go to Mauritania. It's like, and have a crew of 8 million and all that stuff, which is like, that gets wearing, that kind of thing. He's got veterans from Top Gear and Grand Tour, and their days are, they'll film a scene, like, let's say, move goats or cow birth or something, and then after that's done, they go and have a cup of coffee, and sometimes they go, well, what should we do next? They're going to do something, but then they have a think about it, and it's like, that's just joy for somebody who wants to work, but he's not got like a newspaper deadline or the weight of the world's expectations on him.
Clarkson's farm, no expensive sets, no costumes, no special effects. Some of it filmed on a mobile phone, and yet it's the highest rated show on Prime. You know Jeremy better than anyone, so how much of that is genius and how much is just Jeremy being Jeremy with someone pressing record?
Isn't Jeremy being Jeremy a bit of genius? You know, it's like not anyone can do that job. All right, let's deal with the sort of low-techness of everything. We, again, did not see it coming. Our big worry, apart from how authentic it would be, is how boring it might be. You know, him hitching a trailer up. When we've done minis going down ski jumps with rockets on them, we've done all, you know, amphibious cars trying to get to cross the channel. When you've done that sort of stuff and you're like pushing yourself to go, right, I've got to top that, I've got to top that, I've got to top that, all that kind of Hollywood type mentality, to then go, right, in this episode, we're going to move the goats from one field to another. You do worry, but then you realize that those small stories have got as much power as the mini down a ski jump. So very happy about that. Him involved in that, again, he can somehow make the movements of goats quite something. There's a bit in the new series where they actually are moving the goats, because I love it as an example. You know, it's 4 minutes and you think, well, shit, that's nearly half a power test on Top Gear, you know, moving goats. And the goats are unruly. Then they get them under control and they get to field. And it's your kind of bucolic, beautiful Cotswold late afternoon. And he turns to the camera, he goes, why did I spend so many years driving cars around corners shouting when I could have been doing this? So he gives you he thinks to give you a Jeremy moment, to give context to what's going on. I'd call that genius, like, because he's going, I still have to work here. I can't just enjoy moving stuff around. And then he stops and he goes, oh, I remember, because it pays for me to do this, like, you know. And then brings it down. And you get to the point where it's all gorgeous. And then Caleb goes, why are we keeping fucking goats? Like, why don't we kill them, sell them for food?
And is that just a moment that Caleb came out with? Or is someone going, hey, listen.
No, that's Caleb.
Just say this and it'll work.
No, Caleb's got that position.
Because his comedy timing is really quite something. Caleb's.
Yeah, I think that's improved around, because he's learned off the toing and froing with Jeremy about that kind of thing. But his attitude and beliefs are just his. He would not keep goats. He goes, that's hobby farming. You know, it's not serious. Yeah. We're not making any money out of them. He's like, goat curry all the way, sell them. And Jeremy's going, I can't. So Jeremy allows himself these foibles and failures that a real farmer would not have, like keeping Pepper the cow and so on.
Yeah.
Caleb is off to the abattoir, for all the right reasons. Like you've got to earn a living.
Here at High Performance, we are fascinated by marginal gains, and nowhere is it clearer than in Formula One, where performance comes down to visibility, precision and speed. Because when decisions need to happen fast, the teams performing at the highest level have to see everything clearly in real time. And honestly, I think managing a growing business isn't actually that different. When you're managing team spending across markets with travel, suppliers, multiple currencies, small inefficiencies can quickly add up. And that's why here at High Performance, we partner with Revolut Business, because their spend and expense management tools give you real-time visibility and control across your business, from company cards and approvals to tracking team spending as it happens. So instead of getting buried in admin or outdated systems, you can stay focused on growing your business. And right now, High Performance listeners can get a £200 welcome bonus when you sign up through our link in the description by 30th of September 2026. Subscription fees and T's and C's apply. This is a paid advertisement by BetterHelp. I had a bit of a realisation on one of the podcasts recently that we expect men to open up, but most of us have never actually been taught how to do that. We're told to just get on with it. Just keep moving, keep performing, don't make a fuss. And then at some point in your life, someone tells you to talk more and you're thinking, yeah, but I don't know how to do that. And I have had so many moments like this where I feel something building that no one sees, pressure, stress. You can't put your finger on what it is. You certainly can't say it out loud. And that was the thing that really landed for me recently in a conversation. It's not that men don't want to talk, it's that they don't always have the words to say what they need to say. And that's where something like therapy can change everything. We want to encourage men to say it louder and get comfortable opening up. It gives you a space to slow down, to understand what's going on, to actually learn how to express how you're feeling properly. So when life feels overwhelming, I know that therapy can help. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/performance. That's betterhelp.com/performance.
I think what's happened, and again, his genius for me, because I watch it in the rushes, he's surrounded by Charlie, Lisa, Alan the Builder, Gerald, Caleb. They're all what you'd call civilians, even though they're well known on TV. They're not professional presenters.
Yeah.
But he is. So he's like this maypole or tent pole in the middle. And I can see the different sides of the cogs working, where he's going, right, I've got to give entertainment here. And so I'm engaging with everybody. But I've also got to mentally direct this scene. So when they all start talking in acronyms and tech speak and farmer speak, you get these moments, and Charlie didn't realise it, where Jeremy would go, so hang on a minute, let's get this straight. You want to, and then he'll give an idiot summary of what they're talking about. And he's doing that for me in the edit, and he's doing that for the viewer. So he's got his like edit brain on, and then his in the moment brain. But the genius result of that, I think, is the others don't know it. So they're free to just be. Alan the Builder is free to just sort of overcharge Jeremy in a funny way.
I love how he comes up with his price. How much is this? Well, it's got to be.
No,
it's got to be 250 grand.
No, it's 2,500.
That's got to be 2,500.
2,500, like just to take the 1,000 out of it, you know.
You know, one of my favourite scenes is when you've got all the problems with the drains at the farmer's dog, and Jeremy's gone down there and he's like, oh my God, it's literally, in your head you're going, God, standing 2 feet away from that drain must be the world's worst thing. And then then this man appears from inside, and he's got like his hands above his head, isn't he, holding on to the cable.
He's holding on, yeah, coming up through the sort of...
And Jeremy's like, there's a man inside there. It's just
holy yeah.
Oh my God.
And
brilliant.
He's absolutely in his element watching all that.
And are you careful not to
somebody does a massive
them?
turd in the one of the bogs at the farmer's dog.
In the new season?
Yeah. And it's like, it's the day the Cores are coming to play at the pub, and you're like... How could this happen? We've got a turd from another...
What, they blocked the toilet?
It's from another planet, this thing, you know. It is your, like, Marvel thing when it's the shadow comes over Manhattan.
I fucking love Clarkson.
Was that turd somehow, like... And you're like, the Cores are on the way. Now, obviously, they don't have to use that one, but you're like... We don't need this problem. Like,
are you careful not to produce them? Like, you don't want to go and speak to Gerald about being produced because it takes them out of being themselves.
No, we never bother with that. Never bother. Charlie never watches himself.
Right.
So they're, again, in the new series.
That's good, though. I think it helps.
Yeah. The conversation he and Jeremy have in the sort of Christmas edition, where Jeremy decides he wants to build a Santa's grotto. And they've become a bit of a trope on the show now. Jeremy has an idea, Charlie, like, brings reality to the lunacy of it, or the ambition. And I think that one was the best one they've ever done, where Jeremy goes, I want to make a grotto, and then off Charlie goes with all the, you know, background checks for Father Christmas, and Jeremy's like, what? It was... And you sort of, you go, Charlie's got no preparation for it, and he's never watched another one he's done. So he doesn't know, whereas I'm sure Caleb does watch because he's very interested in TV.
Right.
Charlie doesn't know that they've got this rhythm, this TV rhythm, which is just about perfect.
Brilliant.
But he hasn't watched it and learned from it. He just naturally does it. Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's actually, I think, impressive as well that Caleb hasn't changed as he's kind of become famous, or hasn't become a TV version of Caleb. He's kind of retained the ability just to be who he was in season 1.
But he's got a good Yoda. Is Yoda the older one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a good Yoda.
Clever you
Jeremy.
are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has. He's got a good Yoda. Because Jeremy's like, just that authenticity, which people love. And Caleb's watching it around him.
Yeah.
And I think after series 1, he was inundated with all the offers
Yeah.
from telly. And there's nothing you can do to stop him going. But we were like, mate, stay here, learn. It's an academy. You won't make better farming telly anywhere else. And he's taken on to that. He's taken with that. He's got it.
Is it?
Yeah.
So I came home the other day and Seb, who I spoke to you about before, my son, 10 years
Yeah.
old, grabbed me and ran into the, go, you've got to come here, you've got to see this, you've got to see this, you've got to see this. And I thought, what's happened? Something's gone on in the house. It was the trailer for the new season.
Oh, yeah.
Which bit do you think he loved?
Brainwave, don't worry.
What made him laugh out loud?
Driverless tractor.
What's that?
Behold my technology at work.
That's basically taking my job.
That is the Starship Enterprise.
That's AI again.
Oh, well.
Detected localization, pitch, totaling, fold off.
Caleb's face.
Caleb's face, yeah.
No sheep is easy to care for.
These ones are.
Those fucking sheep.
The whole
Mind of
fence
their own.
line goes
Yeah,
down.
I know. Electric shocks, thumbs.
Fuck thumbs.
I just run another like buggy, so I just think they're all cockbirds. Oh, you just start with. Didn't look so
My
shabby.
favourite's coming up. It's the woman after you see Jeremy in hospital.
There's an onion in my field. Look at this little car.
I've got bad news. I'm putting the whole farm under restrictions. The ministry will get in touch with you. I'll talk through.
And that's real, by the way.
We have a problem. More than 100 travelling people have arrived.
Yeah, a lot of phone footage on that one.
I don't know.
Wow.
You've got 3 arteries that feed your heart to keep it pumping. My heart wasn't getting any blood.
This woman.
To be fair, we would have got dead of a heart attack at 67. Yeah.
There you go, you see.
Third of half.
Cheering you.
Hearing you.
She's epic.
Yeah, this is well dead.
The doctor told me not to speak. Amazon's told me not to speak. Hello, everybody.
And he speaks.
We are not going to feature in the Daily Mail's shit.
There's the grotto.
Yeah, the animals. The animals are a gift.
Yeah. Go eating the Christmas
Yeah.
tree.
Potentially into next week. You right? There's a neighbour.
Shit, you gotta go.
God, it all happens in this season. I'll finish the field.
You did hear that.
What do you think was Seb's favourite moment, or is it still to come?
Here it comes.
So that last bit at the end there.
Yeah.
That, I think, is exactly what you spoke about, Jeremy's genius. Like the 2 dogs are just shagging in the house.
Yeah.
And instead of him going, oh, and not knowing what to do, he starts having like the most normal conversation. With
Well, it's
Lisa
that
about what
British
to have for
avoidance,
dinner.
isn't it?
Yeah.
They're like, but it's just dogs. So it's like, this isn't happening and we're very British about it. So we'll just carry on as normal. Yeah, we didn't know that's coming.
They just
We're like,
decided to.
"Thank you." Yeah.
Well, then, you know, the stuff like the inheritance tax or the planning battles, like the more political elements.
Mm-hmm.
What's your view on that? Do you lean into that or would you rather avoid them?
No, we lean into it. We lean into it because if it's something that is brutalising farmers in a way that is actually if you dig into inheritance tax for a non-farmer versus a farmer, it's treasury bloody sort of really quite devious people working out that these farmers, there's like most farmers are over 60 odd. So you can't sell your farm, you can't get out of this. You are into that. Whereas I think you or I, we've got an inheritance plan. We've got options to try and get around it.
Right.
With a farm, you can't. They know it's like a glorified death tax that they're locked into is the point.
Right.
And Andy Burnham's gone, land is massively undertaxed, and you're like, what, you're going to do that as well now?
Yeah.
So we lean in. We lean in to an extent. He's mindful of the fact that Rachel Reeves was going after people like Jeremy and James Dyson, non-farmers who buy land to avoid death duties. And his point, as he said quite rightly, is, yeah, but why? Fine, go after me, go after James Dyson, but use a sniper's rifle. Don't use a fucking blunderbuss like you have done and take out the whole farming community. Because this whole thing about the initial thing, a farm over £1 million. £1 million sounds like a fantastic number to a townie, but it's bollocks in the farming world. Yeah. By the time you've got a tractor, a barn, some cattle, you're on your million.
And there's not much there. And there's no one's getting rich out of farming these days. If you're just I come from a farming family in Norfolk.
So you're like, okay, what happens then? Big conglomerates then would buy up the farmland.
That's exactly what the end game is there.
Yeah.
Our land is owned and farmed by 4 huge businesses.
4 huge businesses.
Who control all our food.
Yeah, he was looking at the whole TB thing in this series, and which comes up more. That one's not out yet, but there's like a few hedge fund groups own most of the veterinary practices. So it's in everyone's interest to have big vet bills, and so on and so on. But we don't get into it like on a mission.
Right.
I think Jeremy was aware that some farmers go, we love what you're doing, but you are part of the problem with the inheritance tax, by virtue of existing, you and the James Dyson. So some farmers were, Jeremy, help, because you're an amazing communicator. And some farmers are like, we love you, but can you stay away from this one? It's not your fight.
Yeah.
Can I ask you about the moment where he has his heart operation in this series?
Yeah.
Because you've known young Jeremy coming through as a TV star.
Yeah.
Slightly older Jeremy who literally becomes a megastar and the ego starts to kind of maybe run away with itself, all the way through to farmer Jeremy. But now Jeremy who's had a really genuine health scare.
Yeah.
Is he any different now after that moment, do you think?
I couldn't put my finger on that. He's got grandchildren. That's made a massive difference.
Yeah.
So I'd say pre the health scare, all those decisions were turning around in his head. It's one of the reasons we quit the Grand Tour. That you absolutely start to, if you read a Jeremy column from like the 1990s, it'll be, right, I'm going to smoke 90 a day, drink, and then I'm going to have at 72 a brief moment of massive pain before my heart gives out. But I'll have had an amazing moment, sort of rock star type philosophy. And obviously it's bollocks, because when you get to 60, you go, shit, grandchildren, shit. I've worked really hard, shit, I can smell the roses if I stop. And it's happened to him. So yeah, no big science on that one. But it was happening before the health scare.
Yeah.
I think the health scare is like, it was one of those things like the heart stuff is like good living, and it's come around obviously this time of him actually already having gone, I've got to slow it down. So he's changed his diet and that kind of thing. He has taken it seriously. He hasn't smoked for 10 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have this funny moment where, one of your best buddies and someone you've shared most of your life with has suddenly got a massive issue, but there's a bit in your head going, well, that's going to make great television. I remember when we spoke with Emily Maitlis, she said that she had a point where, like, when there was a big drama somewhere, which was a crisis and a catastrophe for some people, in her head, she's like, oh, it's going to
happen.
It's going to make great news headlines.
Great news headlines, yeah.
It's funny how the job does that to you, isn't it?
He's on the front foot more than anybody on that. He's like, right, shit, I'm in hospital. And you're like, shit. And he's like, yeah, I've got Lisa filming it, you know. And then we'll decide what to do with it afterwards. But he's got that local newspaper reporter logic that let's get this on film, let's work out how it goes in, and so on and so on. Right. So he's the biggest advocate of shit, this will make great telly.
Yeah.
You know, and so on.
This is from James Lewis 2635.
That's when the name James Lewis has been used.
2,635 times.
His favourite numbers now get used,
yeah. Andy, it sounds like the best way of getting Jeremy Clarkson to do something is to tell him not to do it. Is that actually true? And what's the best example you've got?
Oh, I hate the best example bits. Because you've got to go like Rolodex. So I don't know in the time we have if I can come up with that. The best way to tell him to get him to do something, tell him not to do it. It's odd when we just looked at a trailer, when Amazon have told me not to speak, the doctors told me not to speak. He does take that position of anti being told what to do, but he's not mental with it. He's not mental with it. I think. So, let me try and unpick it in other ways. Top Gear, we were in the newspapers a lot in Top Gear, on the Top Gear days, Daily Mail, Spark Fury, Daily Mirror, Spark Fury. And if we did something, we never did it to Spark Fury. We never sat down and write, what can we shoot this week that is going to get us in the papers? But if along the way we realise that, this might go like play badly, we would still carry on doing it. If you'd have said to him, let's think of one. Lorry drivers murder prostitutes in the Top Gear days. He starts doing that running joke about like the cab is a chapel of rest, you know, for all your victims and stuff like that. And you get the sense like when this goes out, like BBC compliance go, all right, it can go out, but fucking hell, batten down the hatches, lorry drivers, and the papers are going to be on you. It's at that point that he would go, well, whatever happens, happens, but we certainly don't take it out. We don't go for a peaceful life, you know.
Yeah.
So that's more his logic. But I don't think he sets out to go, right, how can I do something that is contrary?
And he obviously doesn't actually believe that lorry drivers murder prostitutes. But there's something there that works for him. Is it because he knows that creating these conversations outside of the show is good for the show? So
they are, because they're good observations. Because well, no, he likes that, what's that horrible phrase? Sideways look. You know, he likes that. Right. If you're going to bring being a lorry driver to life, he will go look for things like that, which are, I mean, the reason the BBC let it go through, even though they knew we were going to get a kicking, was if you Googled, you know, compliance Google, lorry drivers, prostitutes, your fucking computer explodes with all the examples in America or wherever. So they go, right, it's an established trope, you know. It is not urban myth, but it's out there. So he is, by all the compliance rules, allowed to play on it. The flack that comes, but you can defend why you did it. Why does he go for that? Because it is mischievous. But I think mischief is the word, not controversy, that you're aiming for. Because everyone's going to have a giggle about that one. But it's one element. He's going to talk about how hard it is to change 18 gears when someone in a bloody Vauxhall Corsa has just moved in front of you, like for no reason, all that sort of stuff. He'll learn that and talk about that too. But we never set out to, but then we don't stop when it happens.
Make sure you stay where you are. Plenty more questions to come for Andy Wilman in the dark after our power cut here in the studio.
Boo, boo, boo.
Success isn't just about one big headline moment, right? It's about the thousands of small victories happening every single day. And that's what Postcode Lottery is all about. Just by playing, you're making a real impact across communities, whether it's a breakfast club helping kids start their day with the fuel they need to learn, a youth programme building confidence in young people, or mental health services supporting someone when they need it most. These are the moments that matter. These are the moments that make a real difference to real people. When you play the Postcode Lottery, you're not just supporting a lottery. You're helping fund these life-changing programs. You're part of a bigger movement of shared victories, of communities winning together. If you want to see how this funding is making a difference in communities, click the link in the description to learn more about powering hope together. Postcode Lottery manages lotteries for 20 charities. A minimum of 30% of each ticket price goes to charity. 18 plus conditions apply, not available in Northern Ireland. 46% of people have hidden cardiovascular risk that they have no idea about. That's what Do Health have found. But thankfully, I'm not one of them. And I only know this because I recently took the Do Health blood test. People in my family have had issues with their heart in the past. So my results showed that my ApoB is optimal. So ApoB estimates the amount of cholesterol-carrying particles moving around your body. The more you have, the more chance there is for cholesterol to settle. The good news is mine's optimal. But I also love the fact that I've now been given a plan from Do Health. So I need to drink more water, I need to take more steps, and I really need to focus on my sleep so that I know in 4 months when I take the test again, hopefully my stats and my data will have improved. This is all about getting in front of health, not reacting to it. If you're interested, check out dohealth.co/high performance and use the code high performance and see what's really going on inside your body. Great question. Going back to Top Gear from, here we go, NFFC Evans 007. This had...
He picked that name himself, didn't he?
100%.
Yeah.
A Forest fan and a James Bond fan. 1,400 likes on this, so a lot of people were feeling the same way. And they said, I wasn't excited for the Ferrari Enzo. I was excited for the Top Gear review of the Ferrari Enzo.
I get that.
Did you ever fully realise that you'd actually made the car secondary to the review?
Well, I disagree with that. The car was always had to come first. And I think another of those, like the point we were making earlier about when you start to try and be funny without a point. If we started to make the show about us and not the product or the object of whatever our focus was, you certainly then start to come unstuck when you start to do that sort of thing. So if we do the Enzo later than everybody else, which was because we thought we made a plan that we weren't going to go to Italy to drive it like all the car magazines would do. Jeremy's like, not till it's over here in right-hand drive are we doing it. Very strict rule,
Why?
very good one. Because his point was, if we're a car show that's broad, you don't chase what the car magazines are doing because that's enthusiasts and that's niche. So Autocar or Car Magazine or Top Gear Magazine will review the new Enzo as fast as possible. They all want the scoop, journalistically correct. They want to be the first. And he's like, no, let's take ourselves out of that world. And we won't review a car until somebody's driving to work and they can see the posters for it, or they can go down the showroom and have a look at it. He's like, that's our relevance. You know, restaurant reviewers don't review a restaurant until it's open, sort of thing. So why would you not go this way? So then we'd have to work doubly hard on the review because we're following everybody else. And it was an absolute point of pride. You know, he would write those things again and again and again to get it just right. So I disagree. I don't think the presenter came before the car because he was slavish.
But
to
you were
making it right.
You were so much more than a car review show, though.
Well, he could make them live. He had a great skill for making things live. I remember, and his analogies, I remember watching Top Gear late one night and I got in from the edit again. So you're watching like 1 a.m. Top Gear rerun and they've got the lady in the side doing the, for the hard of hearing, the sign language. And it was a Jag he'd reviewed in Scotland, XK or something like that. And he's going, at normal speeds, it's as quiet as a mountain. Right. Actually, I thought it was a great analogy because if you look at mountains, there's extreme silence. But you just saw her face go, like, what the fuck am I doing with this analogy? Like, this sort of stuff. But yeah, he works, he worries it, dog with a bone on getting those phrases right. Because it is a point of pride to do good wordplay, I suppose.
A question from Destruction NL36.
What?
Yeah. When the Grand Tour shifted to specials only, I started calling it the Farewell Tour. When did you know it was ending? And was the decision actually made, or did it just stop?
Yeah, it was a decision we took about 5 years to make. So 2019, when just before we went to specials, well spotted, NFL.
Destruction NL86.
Yeah. When we stopped doing the sort of 12 shows a year, we were going to call it quits. Amazon said, no, keep going. Do another 2 years of 12 shows. And we said, no, definitely not. Well, we were like, quit. And then they said, tell you what, you can each have your own solo series if you do some more film, top Grand Tours. So Jeremy said, I'll do a farm show, So like, the best way to get everyone back is to hit their own personal egos, like Deep Purple.
Yeah.
Like, give the keyboard player a solo album, as long as we get a Deep Purple album. And we went to the specials. So it was in our minds, that's why we reduced the number, that one day we're going to make something that's proper shit. And then the audience will say goodbye to us before we do the goodbyes. So it then became our focus that we've got to call it at the right time. So we kept doing them in clumps, do 4, then do 2, then do 2 more. But Amazon were like, just sign up and say 6, And we kept doing them in small increments because we wanted that option to go, we're done. And then with the Madagascar one, that was probably the weakest one, that was like a real wake-up call. That, we're right to be worried.
Right.
Then COVID comes along and we got a boost because we had time to think, time to recharge the batteries. And we came out of the traps well with Scandi Flick and Mauritania one. Oh no, the European one. We came out of the traps all right then. But then we were like, Mauritania, Zimbabwe, we knew a good 18 months before that was it.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to be able to walk away with our heads held up. So yeah, you're absolutely right, Destruction 898, that it was a glorified farewell tour. But there won't be a we're back tour.
Never. The Grand Tour never comes back.
No, if 899 is asking that, we won't be, there won't be another one.
The next question then, Andy, from B-Bats 55. The Madagascar special, everyone knows it didn't really work. You've been honest about that.
Ooh.
But what I want to know
We
is...
just said that, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah. But what I want to know is, did you know while you were making it?
No, I think that was the point. We were like, halfway through, you're going, what the fuck are we doing pirates for? This is nonsense. It was the this is nonsense bit, And you can do a scene in a film that's nonsense and you just cut it out. But when the whole film's nonsense, you're locked in. You've just got to keep going. So you hope that this world's worst road is going to give you the material to get you to the end. It's got to give enough of an anchor. But difficult roads at 1 mile an hour become as wearisome as the road itself. It just goes on and on, So we just had to get through it and learn, beat ourselves up afterwards.
Yeah.
Never again do we drop our sort of standards on.
But how do you keep morale high in moments like that?
You're busy. There's a lot going on. End of the day, your shoulders will drop a bit. You'll go, that's another day where we went 6 hours on that road. And I'm thinking, I can just see this in the edit, just being interminable. So then morale, you'd go, right, James drives through that puddle of shit in the caterum. It's a good moment. He's just covered in it. And you're like, well, that'll be a highlight. But then you grow that in your head as if it was the whole day or something. And you know it's going to be 48 seconds when you've done it. But you're like, that'll do. That'll give us a bit. But you've got to sort of, I don't know, like Michael Flatley with his arthritis. He's just got to keep dancing, hasn't he?
Just push through.
Yeah.
So the question from Wilson, and this is on Instagram. Wilson.
Mr. Wilson.
Wilson_Truong from Instagram. Because you spoke really movingly, actually, in our first conversation.
Okay.
About how towards the end of Top Gear, your mental health was challenged, the stress, the pressure, everything was on top of you. His question is, besides Jeremy's exit, was there ever a time that Andy considered leaving Top Gear?
No, never. Because we've got our own version of that sort of Stockholm syndrome going, where you're absolutely wedded to being alongside each other, no matter how bad it gets. And I think, again, because it's not a show that we just sort of got given guardianship of, but grew, how could you leave it? If say I get a job right running The Apprentice and it all goes to shit for me, I'll leave. I know, but because we'd grown it ourselves, there's no way you could leave. And we were all too massively close to do that. So never. To great cost, I think, mentally, because it was so insane what we were doing in terms of the workload but we couldn't even take time off, anything. So,
do you make sure that you protect your mental health now?
Yeah, I see a therapist once a week. You learn a lot, obviously, about yourself, or why bother.
Yeah.
And it is like that thing where if you go to the gym to work your body out, why would you not go and sort your brain out? I'm sure that's the sort of cliche that is understood, but probably not understood enough. It's like, it's not actually about going because you have crises, problems. It's just, why would you not help with your mental health?
Yeah.
In a society where it's still not valued enough to have good mental health, and in a society where mental stress is getting hard, society is getting more pressured, more complex, all the things we know. Why would you not try and look after your noggin,
Was the trigger for you to go?
Yeah, when everything was collapsing around, yeah. And I didn't go closed mind. I did want to go.
Right.
And you can have that kind of, especially the northern thing of I'm not telling people my business.
Yep.
There's that logic. I didn't have that. But what I did worry about was that I would be judged, because if you're very insecure, you worry how people see you and what they think about you. And it takes you ages to know that a good therapist is not judging. And then you can say everything. I think that's the pivot you've got to get over, the hump, that you're not going to be judged, that this person is like, absolutely. Because the lady I see, she was like, look, by the time we've been trained properly, Adolf Hitler could sit opposite me and we'd try and work out the logic behind what he did, So I was like, okay, I'm not as bad as Hitler, so I'll stay.
Can I ask you just a couple of geeky TV questions
Yeah.
before we go to the quickfires? So, how many days out of the year do you think you're filming on that farm?
Too fucking many, because we got to deal with it in the edit. I think because he could step out the door and he's at work, that sort of, well, we need to film that. Well, we need to film that. Oh, the milk's being delivered, as in like a milk bottle, not the. It's like, oh, we better film that. It can get a bit like that. Oh, the gate needs some WD-40. Right, get the crew. And you're like, this is never going to make it. But they film a lot. I think our shooting ratio is about 50-1.
50
hours to 1 hour sort of thing.
Right.
So what's that, 50 minutes to 1 minute, et cetera.
Yeah.
So not as bad as the specials at their worst. But then again, you haven't got all the cameras that you've got there. You've got 15 in-car cameras between Jeremy, James and Richard.
And what have you got on the farm?
Well, in the car, if he's driving somewhere, we don't bother with the minicams hardly. It's like the cameraman jumps in the back, just so you get that actuality, right, we're off up to the top field.
Yeah.
Apparently there's something wrong with one of the sheep, sort of thing. So it's very lo-fi on that score.
But how do you plan, like obviously you can go through the diary for the week or the schedule for the month and say these are our filming days. If something goes wrong that requires more than just Jeremy on a mobile phone, like how quickly can you get the crew there to film what's going on?
Really quickly, because Casper, the main cameraman, lives in the area. He's down the road.
Right.
So often...
And that'll happen quite often then?
Yeah. That'll happen quite often. He can jump in, and Casper's like, and if we're not filming, if it's a nice day, he's out getting all those, you see those amazing shots of Attenborough-esque type deer going through the fields and stuff. He'll just bring his camera up and settle down because he doesn't have to deal with Jeremy or anybody else. He can just get that stuff and all those beauty shots. So it's kind of full-time as it is. And we're well-funded. It's a good budget for this show, given that it's not blockbuster budget because of the context. It's, life on a farm. But we're well funded for a life on a farm show. So we are very lucky that we can have the edit days we want to process this stuff. And Jeremy can go, get the cameras over here, the tap's leaking. I need to film it. So yeah, funding is good for this.
And how much time are you in the edit?
We're full-time. 3 editors.
So 3 editors? What,
3 editors.
All year?
Yeah, more than a year. Over a year. So we'll start...
It's mad, isn't it?
It is. But the walls of the offline edits are like Beautiful Mind, You start with like cows, sheep, pub, etc., and then you start filling them in.
And what are you putting on the walls, though? Because I would have thought these days everything is digital and everything's on a device rather than on a wall. Or is that just because you still like to work?
I'm a boomer and I can't deal with spreadsheets and stuff like that.
What do you have on the wall?
So we get that, that stuff that you get from Ryman's that other stations are available. The
sticky white stuff, like
whiteboard. And you can make fake whiteboards. Yeah. So we do, and then we'll write cows, sheep, pub, arable,
shit,
and then something will get filmed, and then you put it on there, and then when the assistant has broken it down, you'll put a tick against it, and it's now ready to cut. But I don't know, it's just me. I can only work in a sort of left to right way, where I can look at everything, and then.
But where does that allow for all of the mad shit you can't plan?
Well, we'll put it in a category, or we'll cut.
Right.
Here's a tip: if you ever find yourself in a position, put one up called miscellaneous. That's stick it in there, and then you put that, and you do like your miscellaneous stuff because they're like little breaks.
Yeah.
So you can have all right, in this story we're going to do sheep and Jeremy's heart or whatever. But you could have a thing where like Lisa's developed a new pasta and she brings it into the office to let everyone taste it in the, Jeremy and Caleb and everything. And you go, right, that is fuck all to do with fuck all, but it's a 3-minute break from whatever else we're doing. Yeah. And that helps us pace-wise, that you can go, meanwhile, and the meanwhile word is get out of jail of all time, or the next day. And then they just help me pace it up and move it along.
Brilliant.
Because it is, voiceover is in it. How often do you get actuality with voiceover? It's quite,
right.
It's uncommon, but there's no other way because we have to package it like a story.
Brilliant. Right, should we do some quick fires?
Yeah.
All questions from the community. Here they are.
Please not. What's the best? What's the worst?
Oh, well.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to piss you off.
From
one of.
Yeah. Morris Marina 898. What's he want? Yeah.
Worst idea, Jeremy.
Oh, here you go.
That somehow worked.
Worst idea what? Any show?
Yeah, that somehow worked.
Worst idea that somehow worked.
Power's back!
Wow.
Power's back! Woo!
Hey!
Oh my goodness. Finally, we all look our age again. I think for men of a certain generation, like candlelit studios is a good idea.
I liked it dimly lit. I'm a bit sad this has happened.
We turn off again. Yeah, let's just again.
Why don't we?
Like the romance of the...
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're nearly done, so why don't we wrap up like this? Let's finish like this, JB.
Okay.
I think it's lovely.
Right.
I think it's more
You got
romantic.
another one?
Yeah,
Those worst idea ones kill me.
good. Okay.
I think one of the ideas that amazed us all was, shit, does even people do it anymore? Scooter Man. It was a London thing and a couple of other cities where you get pissed.
Scooter comes to your house.
Scooter comes to your house, they put their boot.
They drive you home.
No
No one drinks anymore, so there's no need for Scooter.
There's no need to do it, yeah. So they would come to you. So you're in the pub.
Yeah.
And you're like, you've driven there, and then oh, fuck, I've had too many. You ring Scooter Man, and he comes in a little mini moped. He's insured to drive anything. Puts his little scooter in the back of your car, drives you home pissed, and then you wake up, you've got your car. So James and Richard went, why don't we be scooter men for the evening, and we can road test. It's like road test roulette. You know, we'll road test whatever cars we've got coming up. And we thought, oh, this is going to be so shit. But the joy of it was you've got the owner of the car next to you. So if like they're going, this Nissan Qashqai is bollocks, like the owner is like, because they've got to sit next to you, right? And they're pissed, so they might be a bit aggy. And James was like, being James, I'm going to say it how it is. I'm not going to beat about the bush. If the car's terrible, their fault for buying it. And Hammond's like, oh, I'm too polite for that. He goes, I'm going to do a code. So he'd go, if this car's shit, I'm going to go, it's a bit cranberry. Like, and then so on camera, he's giving the viewer all these words, like, beforehand.
That's funny.
It was that was a good film, but it started out as worst idea, I think.
I like that one.
If you could
X19 or whatever, he won't have been born when that film came out.
Too young.
Surely.
Can't be.
Hammond,
He got
May,
a fucking handle. It's like
Hammond, May or Clarkson, who would you actually like to be stranded with?
If it's danger all about, Richard, right? For company, Jeremy, you know. Survival, Richard.
James isn't featuring yet.
Quick death. No, because he'd like arrange the island, you know. Oh, Wilman, coconut trees sort of should be there. And take it forever to get everything built. He's very practical, but no, it would be maudlin. It would be maudlin. Whereas Jeremy would bring Jeremy drama to the whole thing. We're going to die tonight, and then like when we haven't died the next day, we're alive, and then this would go on and up, all this kind of that sort of thing, and we would have a laugh. And Hammond, like I say, if you're on Jurassic Park Island, you need someone to punch a T-Rex. He's your man. He's the fighty brummie that you want in the pub.
Is it?
You know, yeah.
One thing about Top Gear the audience never knew.
These are really shit for quick fire because I've got to go through the bloody...
It's fine.
I've got to go through the Rolodex.
Yeah.
I'm saying they never knew.
We can edit them into quick
We
fire.
change the Stig now and again. As in if Stig was busy, if Ben Collins was busy, we'd put another one in.
Would you?
Yeah. Julian Bailey, great racing driver, touring cars, Le Mans, sports cars. And he had, unfortunately, Julian is curmudgeonly. He's known for it. He's grumpy as shit. And like, I remember at touring cars, like some kid brings him the wrong poster of like Will Hoy instead of Julian. He's like, kid, fuck off. Bring me the right picture back. Like, you know, the kid's this height sort of thing. And and Ben Collins is like amazingly sort of polite, fantastic coach, etc., etc. You know, literally an ambassador for the show when you've got your celeb there in the car. Julian, forget it. And Jimmy Carr was the guest that day. That's the worst combination because Jimmy Carr just fucked about. He kept spinning off, and you're like, Jesus, Jimmy, he goes, I've not come down to do a lap time, I've come to entertain. Which fair point, he'd made his bed. And I'm driving down to see how they're getting on, like halfway through their training. And the Stig's coming the other way, and I'm like, window down, I'm like, where are you going? He went, I've had enough of that cunt. Can't take any more of him. And like, so I'm like, and he went, do you know what? He said, he's actually good as well. That's what's pissing me off as well. So I drove down to see Jimmy and I went, he's just said he's had enough of that cunt. Jimmy's then on the floor. Like, and then he went, but he also says, I said, we've got enough spins to last a lifetime, you know, in your career and all. Why don't you actually put your mind to it? Because he says you'd be good. And he went number one. So, but yes, Stigs came and went on these sort of special occasions, stand-in Stigs.
Good to know. The ending of Clarkson's Farm, Series 5, are we talking relief or heartbreak?
I can't talk about the ending of Series 5 because nobody's seen it yet.
So that remains a secret
Massive secret.
till we get there.
It's a heavy series. The ones that have been out so far, you'll see the progress now of the how gentle First Step was, which was a bit nervy for me because streaming, you usually come out of traps with like your Jason Statham punches, you know, and that was because Jeremy was crook. There's nothing you can do. He can't do anything. It's gentle. And then Ep 2 was an outlier because it's funny with the Christmas stuff. And then, as you see, only till Ep 3 does the actual series arc kick in when he goes, right, I'm going high tech. But what have we got to come? 5, 6, 7, 8. It gets heavier and heavier and heavier. So it is dramatic. But I ain't saying nothing.
Ooh. If the BBC called you tomorrow and said, come back on your terms, do you pick up?
Miss them, but not like we used to. We used to miss them, like when we were starting to make Grand Tour, we really missed them. Partly because we had a lot of management who still liked us, apart from the ones who hated us, there was a lot who liked us. And there was our baby, you know, the show we'd built. So a lot of heartache. And I think for years we would be like, it'd be good to be back. But it's gone now. It's actually, I think, like a relationship where you go, no, it's all that's, you've got over it. And Amazon have been good to us. You know, okay, big American corporations, we don't have that parent and child relationship we had with the BBC, for sure. It is more formal than that. But the group at Amazon we work with, we've now got a relationship with them. And they are really good to us, and they leave us alone, which in the streaming world is like unheard of. You know, I hear about like Netflix want cut, and notes, the amount of notes going to people, and we get fuck all, which is, so once we've got our independence and we're funded, that was always how we were at the BBC. We built our own little Asterix the Gaul village, you know, with the big stakes around it so nobody can get in. And we kind of got the same here. So, no, don't miss it now. There was a time, but not anymore.
Well, Andy, look, thank you so much. There's
Thank
a lot
you.
of firsts. First guest to ever done a third recording in this studio. First guest to ever had a power cut.
I arranged that.
It made for great content. Great content. The king of
when
content.
I stand up, there's a cable where I've moved with my chair. Like, it's like
How did that happen?
massive plug come apart.
And it's the first time we've ever had someone in and just given them questions from the audience because the
Wow.
conversation was so interesting
Oh,
and
that's
so
really
deep and
kind
left
of
so
you to
much,
say all of those things, really. I'm proper touched on that. I really am. Because I know how big this one is, you know, so I'm really touched.
Great. Well, if people want more, they can obviously check out season 5 of Clarkson's Farm. They can also get their hands on your book, which has got so many amazing and lovely stories.
Yes,
and
if you
there
bought
is
the hardback, this softback companion, they don't like to be apart, hardback and paperbacks.
Perfect for a summer holiday.
This is a holiday, yeah. Get this in, I think hopefully the airports will stick it in because they didn't the other one. So this is...
They love a softback in the
They love a
in the airport.
softback. No, I didn't think we'd get this far. I didn't think we'd get to paperback, but we have, so I'm well chuffed.
You should be really proud. Great book, great career, great stories, and I think a great episode. So thank you so much.